welcome to the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos Race Course. It's going to be the weekend of February 26th and 27th, and it is a wet and rainy weekend. We won't be racing on Saturday night at Los Alamitos, but we will be racing on Sunday. And welcome to the program here with Ed Burgart. Ed, you're joining us on the show because you're going to be in the booth, right?
Yeah, Michael Ronan's taking a 3-week vacation over to his native Australia. Saw some photos with his mom yesterday on Twitter, and looks like he's having a great time, of course. Michael called me and said, would you please do me a favor and fill in for me for 3 weeks? And, of course, I agreed to do it. It comes at a good time for me. Luckily, I beat the rain down. I talked to Dr. Allred and Kathy Monchi and said, can I come down Thursday instead of coming down Friday for the weekend? So I was able to get here and not have any of the bad weather that people had to endure on Friday.
Yeah, and it was, it's been a forecasted a pretty big storm. Of course, Santa canceled all weekend long. It looks like weather's going to be all clear by Sunday. So hopefully by the time our racing begins on Sunday night, we'll have clear and clean weather. So we'll be happy to have you here. And you're here for 3 weeks, right?
Here for 3 weeks. I'll call this coming Sunday. We got the Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes and a race. But before that, named after a mare that I called to victory in the Champion of Champions back in 1981, Denim N Diamonds. Then I'll be back the following 2 weeks. My wife will be coming down with me, along with my dog, Princess. So next time when you have me on the show next week, my dog will be sitting next to me just so she can bark at you, Jose.
I'll bring Noodles on the show, so I'll have him right behind me, Noodles. And last time they'll get on a bark off. How about that? Well, they'll get on a bark off next weekend on the program. But let's talk about this weekend's card. Saturday night, the racing office was able to combine both stakes events into that card. So we'll have the Denim N Diamonds as race number 9, and then we'll have the Maiden Stakes as race number 10. First, before we look at the big stakes events, I want to get your thoughts on a horse that you like upcoming in race number 7, right?
Right, race number 7 is a horse that's been off since July, a horse called Cactus Jack. But all the years I used to call these winter meets, Jose, I remember fresh horses always seemed to do really well at decent prices because horses had tougher campaigns during the latter part of the prior year, don't always come back and run the same races. So I think Cactus Jack's in a great spot. Will break out of post position number 3. I went back to Cactus Jack's performances last year. The first 2 times this horse ran was victorious. So I know Cactus Jack can run well fresh. You have Jesus Ayala, the leading rider from last year, aboard for Scott Willoughby. And we'll show the videotape here momentarily of Cactus Jack's last outing. It was a much troubled effort against a horse that you've liked all along, a horse called Up the Ladder. Yeah,
and we'll show, we'll have the replay here for the viewers at home. And here's the replay. We'll show this replay. This is going to be from back in last July. But you mentioned freshened horses tend to run well in the new season. But this was Cactus Jack in gate number 2 in this field of 5.
Right, Cactus Jack was in gate number 2 in the field of 5 against a real sharp winner called Up the Ladder. And we'll take a look at the start for Cactus Jack. Stumbled out of the gate and got bumped and probably lost, I'd say, about a half length at the point. You can see that Cactus Jack was about a half to 3/4 behind the horse on the lead, and Up the Ladder, who's in post position number 4 at this point, has the advantage. But watch the finish on Cactus Jack. It comes within a neck of catching Up the Ladder and actually galloped out ahead. Up the Ladder eventually ran second in the Town Policy Stakes last year. So I think that Cactus Jack's in a great spot for a big effort off the bench.
Yeah, that's going to be Cactus Jack off the bench. It's not racing in July. There is a couple of workouts that I see here on the page. There's not gate workout, but that 12:10 workout from December 17th probably give us an indication that he's feeling good for the layoff.
Right. I think Scott Willoughby has put in 3 turn-in works on Cactus Jack, if I'm correct, on the past performances back in November, December, and January. So you see that the horse has been in training for a couple of months now, which tells me that Cactus Jack should be ready to fire fresh. And we'll have to fire fresh because you have 3 horses coming off victories in Royal Bono, Sleuth's Fortune, and El Babito Bet Cartel, who beat easier last time out but draws a favorable post. But I thought that Cactus Jack faced better competition last year, can run well fresh, and certainly I think off the layoff is going to be very tough to beat.
It's a pretty nice allowance yield here in race number 7. That will be the start of the late pick 4. Ed Burgart has given us a look there with Cactus Jack. Let's keep going, rolling the PPs, and I'll get your brief thoughts here on the big stakes events. And of course, Denim N Diamonds, you go way back. You call the Champion of Champions, right?
Right. The first Champion of Champions ever called was back in 1981 when Denim N Diamonds and Sgt. Pepper Feature hooked up. And Denim N Diamonds with Jerry Nicodemus aboard was able to beat Sgt. Pepper Feature. And I recall that race like it was yesterday, even though it was 42 years ago. So looking forward to calling the horses in this year's Denim N Diamonds with Koalition, who figures to be the favorite going for the fourth consecutive victory. But you've got some key post position switches here. Sir Lady Moon will come from the rail to post position number 7. And Letty Cartel's coming out of a trial for the Los Alamitos Winter Championship and back in against mares drawn on the outside. So I think one of those 3 horses will win.
Yeah, it looks like they're when they run their best efforts, the 3 that you mentioned should be able to win this race. But yeah, you would think the post position probably is a big upgrade for a runner like the 7, right?
It sure looks like it, although Sir Lady Moon was certainly no match for Koalition last time out. And Koalition beat a real solid field. In My Heart was a multiple stakes winner prior to that. And Koalition's undefeated since arriving here in California. So the only question mark is whether the inside post might hurt Koalition, who didn't break that well 2 outs ago, but certainly flew out of the gate last time out.
Yeah, that's going to be the grade 3 Denim N Diamonds handicap. Race number 9, 350 yards. Maybe a little bit of a price, Miss KO. She kind of had some run behind horses after breaking slowly. She's in a tough spot there. But maybe from the middle price runners, that's one that I can see hit that one running maybe just a little bit better at a price.
You're right on Miss KO. The horse broke about a length and a quarter, a length and a half slow. Was loaded with run crossing the wire, but she's capable of flying out of the gate. So you're right. If there's a horse other than the top 3 that I mentioned, Miss KO is certainly the other horse to contend with.
Let's go to race number 10, which is the Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes, 350 yards for these 3-year-olds, going for nearly a purse of $90,000. Dangerous Fellow made a good impression in his first local start for Paul Jones coming in from Arizona. What'd you make of that race for him last time out?
Well, I watched the videotape. I thought the horse broke clean and ran well, but I think a horse is going to have to improve a lot to beat Run by My Lady Corona, who simply won for fun in that race, in my opinion. Yeah. And looking forward to seeing Apollitical Victory, who's the full brother to Apollitical Pence, who's coming off a spectacular victory in last week's Brad McKenzie Los Alamitos Championship. And Apollitical Victory kind of looked like Apollitical Pence last time out, as quick as he was out of the gate and really glided over the ground. I think the race favoritism is going to fall either between the 5 Apollitical Victory or the fastest qualifier, 6 by My Lady of Corona.
Yeah, and I think the main upside for a runner like the 5 is that he showed that tremendous gate speed like his brother did. And I think that's a good sign because by My Lady of Corona tends to want to break inwards a bit. So if Apollitical Victory can pop the gate and get himself some separation, that might give him an advantage right there from gate 5.
Plus, he's only making his 4th lifetime start, so he's getting better with each outing, whereas By My Lady of Corona has already run 8 times. Maybe By My Lady of Corona's peaked and Apollitical Victory hasn't. So it's going to be interesting to see how much improvement Apollitical Victory can display 4th time out.
Yeah, Political Royalty is the other main contender there, drawing in gate number 3 for Heath Taylor. Heath Taylor ran right behind Apollitical Pence with that tremendous Empressum. What a showdown that was in last week's Brad McKenzie Winter Championship. And then OJD, She's Gone Roach in gate number 9 is 6-1 on the morning. Also finished behind those top runners that we mentioned, By My Lady Corona and Dangerous Fellow. But I'm in agreement with you. I think the favoritism will be between those 2 runners in gates 5 and 6. I'm leaning towards more the lightly raced runner, Apollitical Victory, because he kind of looks like he has a lot of upside, only making his 4th career start.
Yeah, I can't fault that. That's probably the way I'm going to go. I may have gone to have the other horse as the favorite, when as Apollitical Victory might go in this race based off the breeding on the horse. And everybody remember Apollitical Pence, who was so impressive last week. And for the second time, though, Jose, Empressum kind of broke flat-footed and didn't come out of the gate very well. And that's 2 consecutive times. The time before it didn't cost him, but he wasn't chasing Apollitical Pence 2 outs ago. He was chasing a nice horse in Scoops Dynasty, but I don't think anybody can spot Apollitical Pence at 2-length advantage and win. And he almost came within catching Apollitical Pence despite that.
I mean, that was about as impressive an effort and defeat as you'll ever see, because to be able to run down a horse like that, like Apollitical Pence, and make it a race, tells you what kind of quality runner as Impressive is. But I'm glad the race lived up to the hype, Ed. You can't spot a good horse like that much ground, but it still came down to a nice photo.
Right, and I text Michael Rona as soon as the race is over. I said, fabulous call, my friend. That was a terrific race call, and so proud of the way Michael stepped into the booth and excelled here at Los Alamitos after all those years at Santa Anita and other major tracks, and coming into Los Alamitos, the top quarter horse track in the country, and do so well in all the thoroughbred races and quarter horse races. I just wanted to take my hat, which I don't have one on, but take it off and tip it to Michael Rona.
I did the same way as well. As soon as I got to share a drink with him at Burgart's after the races, and I was getting him singing his praises because I thought it was a terrific race call by Michael as well. Hope he's having a great time there in Australia with his mother and his brother. Well, Ed, it was nice to hear you here on the previous show, and we'll hear you on the booth in the upcoming weeks here at Los Al.
Okay, Jose, thanks a lot.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick six carryover or the $10,000 pick six promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, with a season's best $205,000 on January 7th and a $115,000 pool on January 29th. The traditional $2 pick six, a great bet, a great deal, big time wagering opportunities, always at Los Alamitos. The Los Alamitos Pick 4s are known as night racing's best bets, with huge pools, a $1 minimum, and big payouts. Here are some of our recent Pick 4 pools. On February 19th, the early Pick 4 pool was over $209,000. On February 18th, it was over $189,000. And the late Pick 4 pool on February 5th was over $188,000. Our racing programs begin shortly after the major daytime thoroughbred racing action. Big pools, great fun.
Empressum has blasted clear.
Night racing's best bets, always at Los Alamitos.
And we are back here now, joined by Christopher Way, your Los Alamitos analyst, on this recording on Friday afternoon. Since we didn't have the entries for Saturday night, we're recording, talking about the Sunday night program here at Los Alamitos. Weather's supposed to be clear by the time our program gets underway. Chris, welcome back to the program. How you doing on this Friday afternoon?
We're doing pretty good. Didn't care for the day off, but we do enjoy a day off. But we love our racing and miss a good Saturday night of racing. But we're gonna have two big contests on Sunday night. Yeah,
we will have the racing office combine the two featured events for the weekend into one card. That'll be the Denim N Diamonds in race number 9, and then the Maiden Stakes on race number 10. Let's talk about your key play of the night. It will come in race number 8, I believe so, right?
Yeah, the horse draw to the outside, right on. This is a nice horse with a good amount of talent. Just starting to get into his own. He's had trouble in each and every subsequent start. He just got a good amount of ability, but I just can't seem to put it all together. But in his last race, did show a big improvement. He finally had a little bit of run. He's had to run all of his races, but did have some trouble. Lugged in throughout for bobbling and brushing the side of the gate. Was trying to lug in the whole throughout and really couldn't level out, but just going to get a run late and galloped out nice. So on my numbers is a big look at the outcome with a decent getaway in that event.
We're talking about the 6 Right On, who Chris likes at 4-1. Let's bring up that replay from last time out. And like you mentioned, this horse was coming off of layoffs from December and just never had an opportunity to really level out in this race, right? This was January 28th,
having a good look
and
inside.
she was drawn on the outside.
Yeah, I was moving the head around as per usual. Didn't really have a chance to settle. I broke a little slow, bobbled and brushed in away from the gate. Head cocked sideways, trying to lug in throughout. The rider, Jonathan Roman, having a tough time keeping his horse off his inside rivals and having to guzzle him, pulling him out to keep him off that inside rival there. But shows a good amount of run late and never really allowed to run with everything factored in, the trouble, the tight hold late. This horse has got a solid figure, much like he did his prior effort with a ton of trouble. And it's basically all of his lifetime starts. This horse has ability. It's just a matter of getting out of the gate and running a straight course.
And with your adjusted clockings, this horse looks like could have easily crossed the sub 16-second mark, right? If that one could have kept the straight path.
Oh, without a doubt. The track, that particular race is about 11 slow on my number. So with the trouble track variant, the horse very well could have been right there in the mix for, mix for the trifecta at the very least.
Yeah, you can see BFM Lee's Aldridge is the 2-1 favorite. Dashing Power is 8-1 in gate 2. JB Brown Eyes is in gate number 3. That's probably comparing the favorites, I probably prefer the 3 a little bit more than the 1. But I'm with you with the 6. The 6 still has untapped potential, it seems.
He's got talent. It's just a matter of learning his job and breaking. If you mind his matters in the gate and just break within half a length or so of the field, he's got a big look at the outcome because with the expected improvement and straight course and showing the ability he can run and level out, he's got a big look at the outcome there at 4-1.
That's going to be Chris's selection for race number 8. That's the start of the final pick 3 of the night on Sunday night. 10 races. And, of course, the late pick 4 begins with race number 7. Before I let you go, Chris, what was your reaction to that great duel last week with Empressum trying to catch Apollitical Pence? How about that race?
Oh, my gosh. Apollitical Pence is a bullet from the gate. He's so very quick. And as per usual, Empressum to the outside did have some trouble away from the gate. and was trying to lug in the final half of the affair. Got within a nose. Very well could have won that race with even a decent getaway, but 400 yards, Apollitical Pence can beat anybody in the country.
Yes, the wire came up just in time because Empressum was 2-3 strides in front, 1 yard after the finish line. And that's how fast he was closing into that championship run by Apollitical Pence. But congrats to him. He was back-to-back in the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship as he was the defending champion from last year. We're getting close to your primary selection returning to the Nightlands, right? Remington Park. Have you been watching some of those training races?
Yeah, I've been watching some of those training races. And they started the training races this week here, and they'll be running them babies starting on I think it's the 9th. They start their racing season. We'll be handicapping the races for the primer for the program for the public on our website there on Saturdays and Sundays.
All right, looking forward to that. And again, best of luck with your selection here this upcoming Sunday night, right on at 4-1 from the outside post. Chris, stay warm and stay dry, and we'll see you out there this weekend at Los Al.
All right, boss. See you out there on a Sunday night.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick six carryover or the $10,000 pick six promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, with a season's best $205,000 on January 7th and a $115,000 pool on January 29th. The traditional $2 pick six, a great bet, a great deal, big time wagering opportunities, always at Los Alamitos. The Los Alamitos Pick 4s are known as night racing's best bets, with huge pools, a $1 minimum, and big payouts. Here are some of our recent Pick 4 pools. On February 19th, the early Pick 4 pool was over $209,000. On February 18th, it was over $189,000. And the late Pick 4 pool on February 5th was over $188,000. Our racing programs begin shortly after the major daytime thoroughbred racing action. Big pools, great fun.
Empressum has blasted clear.
Night racing's best bets, always at Los Alamitos.
That is right. Professor G and myself are back here on the weekend preview for Los Al. We're trying to show you what Los Al looks on a nice, clear, sunny day, right, Professor? You got the nice clouds behind you. I've got the nice setting behind me and the patio. The best stuff. Unfortunately, this weekend is a wet and cold weekend in Southern California. We're not racing Saturday, but our Sunday card is packed with a couple of nice stakes events.
Yeah, we got 10 races on top, Jose. On Sunday, the Denim N Diamonds Stakes, one of our races for the Fillies and Mares division, got 8 of them in there, including Koalition, who won the Dashingly Handicap earlier this year. She'll be looking to become the meet's first 2-time stakes winner. So looking forward to that. That'll be race 9 on Sunday. And race 10 is the running of the $85,000 Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes. And I think this is a really strong group. We have the horse that finished 3rd in the Golden State Million Futurity. We have Apollitical Pence's little brother and several other nice runners, including the fastest qualifier by my lady A Corona. So a really good group of sophomores looking to win the Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes. A good 10-race card on Sunday. 6 p.m. first post.
6 p.m. first post, right? 6 p.m. first post. Golden Gate is running in Northern California, so we'll follow their card. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Los Alamitos Gift Shop with this cold and rainy weekend, Professor. Look at this. Look at this nice jacket I got on, right? Let me see if I can turn around. That nice Los Al logo in the back. You can find this exact jacket in the Los Alamitos Gift Shop, and it's nice, soft shell, so it's a weatherproof. You got a removable hood as well. You can take it off, keep it on. It's a nice jacket. So check out the Los Alamitos Gift Shop whenever you visit us at Los Al.
Absolutely. And from what I hear, they just got some new items, some fresh new items in stock right now. So definitely, if you're going to be out this Sunday here at Los Al, pay the gift shop a visit. The crew there will treat you like a queen or a king for sure.
Yes, don't forget, visit us at the Los Alamitos Gift Shop. If you're entering during the main grandstand area, it's immediately to your left as you're left of the escalators as you enter the main grandstand. Let's talk about the 2 main events on Saturday night. By the way, I just had Ed Burgart on the show, Professor. He's back in the booth, and I'm glad he decided to drive down from Laughlin to avoid the weather, because it's a wet weather for sure out here in the last 8 hours or so.
Yeah, we've gone a little bit over an inch today, and we're going to get quite a bit of rain on Saturday morning, so definitely a good thing that Ed is in town now. He is getting ready to call the races. Not that he needs to prepare. I mean, he can do that on his sleep, but he'll be ready to follow up and do another great job here. He'll be filling in not only this week, but the next 2 weeks while Michael Rona enjoys a well-deserved vacation. He is visiting Australia, his home country of Australia. But we're blessed to have Ed Burgart stepping up from the bullpen here for the next couple of weeks.
350 yards, race number 9. There's 2 races left. You know what time it is. Late daily double time. We got the Denim Diamonds, grade 3 event, $35,000 is a purse for these quarter horses going 350 yards. Koalition has been perfect since arriving to Los Al, Professor. 2 straight wins at different distances, specifically last time out at 350 yards. She does get a post switch from the rail. That's the main concern for the one, but she's looked terrific here in Los Al.
Yeah, and arrived here after winning at Lone Star Park as well on a track that was labeled good. And if you remember that Dashley handicap, she won that on a track labeled as sloppy. So the wet tracking is not going to bother Koalition. We'll see how she performs from, like you mentioned, the inside post. She had the outside number 7, one of the outside posts, number 7, when she won the Dashley handicap. I think it's a pretty solid group. We have several stakes winners among the runners here. It's all prettied up. I'm pretty sure one a California Breeders' Night race, stakes race. Up to Good has won some nice races here at Los Alamitos. Won a stakes race last March. Sir Lady Moon ran some really good races at Sweetwater Fair up there in the Intermountain region. Came back and ran second in the Dashley. Letty Cartel dead heated with Astronomical in a stakes race here as well. So a good group all around here at Los Al. I'm gonna still go with Koalition as the one to beat following that nice 3-race win streak that she's got going. And I'm gonna take a shot, Jose, with the number 6 horse. Up Good. Been training up for this race. Has not raced since July of last year. But this horse ran 6 to Nymphet, the debutante here at Los Alamitos. Before that, had been running against the boys. Competed, like I mentioned, won a stakes race. Ran against She Goes Up in the La Pacifica. So she's got some good credentials going in stakes races. We'll see how the time off. If she runs fresh, I'll take that big price, 12-1, Jose, in race number 9.
I like that you're going with the price there to be a possible upsetter. The horse that I kind of think will be higher odds and might be attractive is the 2 Miss KO. I do think the 1 is the horse to beat if she runs back to that race. But Miss KO has always touted that ability to be able to finish. You know, she doesn't always break well, but that second place finish in the Ghost of Josie Go was a very nice runner-up finish that he did with Letty Cartel. She looks like she has more run to give. She needs obviously a better start. But to me, she might be the interesting price in this 9th event. The 10th event will be the running of the Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes, 350 yards for these 3-year-olds. And do you remember what was the date cutoff time when they could still be maidens, Professor?
It was November 1st, Jose.
Okay. So that's why you've seen Dangerous Fella won on November 16th at Arizona, still be eligible for a race like this. He ran very good in his local start here, finishing second behind by My Lady of Corona.
And trainer Paul Jones looking to continue to add those victories to his career record. He is chasing the legendary Blaine Schwanevelt, trying to topple his all-time win mark here at Los Alamitos. Paul Jones, just a tremendous horseman. He will be saddling Dangerous Fellow. We had a chance to catch up with Paul Jones talking about this runner, a Dangerous Fellow, talking about another runner that competed in the Maiden Stakes trials but just missed qualifying, that being Wise Lady Dawn. We also talked to him about receiving the 2022 Frank Vessel Senior Memorial Award. That was a top award handed out at the PCQHRA Awards Banquet. And, of course, talking about just continuing to pile up the wins here at Los Alamitos. Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes, you have a runner by the name of Dangerous Fellow who had a tremendous trial race. How do you see this horse coming into the big Maiden Stakes final?
Well, I was really pleased with this race. This was the first time he got to run here at Los Alamitos. first time out over the track, and he really ran a really nice race. We're really pleased. He came out of the race well. I'm really happy to have him, and I think he'll be really tough in the finals.
Now, you won a trial with Wise Lady Dawn. Unfortunately, not fast enough, but still, that runner has won several races here at Los Alamitos, one with a bright future.
Yeah, she really does. I mean, she's won 3 out of 4 races. It was really disappointing that she didn't get into the final. We really thought she had a great shot to get in the final. She ran a great race and kept her record looking well. But hopefully she's in the Oaks, so hopefully she can do well there.
And recently hosted the PCQHRA Awards Banquet. PCQHRA honor you with the Frank Vessel Senior Award, the top award of the night for all your longstanding contributions to the sport. What does that mean to you?
You know, it really means a lot. Just hearing the name Frank Vessel Senior really means a lot in the quarter horse racing world, probably more than any name that you could say. And to get a award named after him, and that award, it's very prestigious, and I've dedicated my life to quarter horse racing, and I'm really proud to get that award.
Your name also, every time that you win a race, gets a little bit closer to the all-time record of wins here by another legendary name, Blaine Schwaneveld. As you get every win in the book, getting a little bit closer to that incredible record, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's really exciting, that I didn't know if I could ever catch Blaine's win record. We're getting closer and closer, so it's kind of exciting. It'd be a fun record to get. Blaine Schwaneveld was a great trainer. He won a lot of races, and it would be a really good accomplishment to top off my career.
Congratulations on everything you've done, anything that's coming, and best of luck this Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for catching up with Paul Jones, Professor G, as he gets ever closely to that record set by Blaine Schwaneveld.
Yeah, he's now 144 wins away, Jose, and the all-time record is 3,982 by Blaine Schwaneveld, won here at Los Alamitos. So Paul is now at about 3,838, I believe. So he's won a lot of races, a lot of big races, not only here at Los Al, but nationally. He's also getting closer and closer to an all-time record for him of over $90 million in earnings with quarter horses. That is an all-time national quarter horse record.
Well, congrats to the barn. Much success. And they got another good one here with Dangerous Fellow, who's definitely got a shot in the featured event on the Maiden Stakes on Sunday. Up to Interest in gate number 2. Up to Interest took some money on that trial, Professor. Look, he was only 7-2. He's out of Kitty Up Cowgirl, who I believe she won the Charger Bar, if I remember correctly, right off the top of my mind. I believe Kitty Up Cowgirl won the Charger Bar.
She won the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity, Jose, and also the Charger Bar handicap. Yes. So you're right.
Yeah, so Up to Interest out of a Greatest Stakes, multiple Greatest Stakes winner. Damn. So he took money on trials. He didn't break all that well. It looks like he can improve there. Political Royalty for a Heath Taylor. Good gate break, good finish. Ended up with a clocking of 1780. Was the odds on in that spot. But that was a good way to start 2023. Catch him. It's going to be a tough task here, but he's got some improvement numbers. He may be able to get a slice for the exotics. Apolitical Victory, though. Look where they drawn, Professor. Apolitical Victory in gate 5. By My Lady of Corona in gate 6. You got the 2 flashy winners of those trials drawn side by side. And with just off his older brother winning the Brad McKenzie last week, Professor, there's going to be a lot of eyes on the 5 Apolitical Victory.
And where did Apolitical Pence break from in the Winter Championship?
It was gate 5. There it is.
Yeah, so little brother looking to duplicate what big brother did. And, man, wouldn't they love to see Apolitical Victory do some of those things that Apolitical Pence has done in his outstanding career. Number 6, By My Lady at Corona. They paid $150,000 for this runner, Corona Cartel, out of Lady Eagle 123. She was stakes placed during her racing career. And By My Lady at Corona has won now back-to-back stars, both by daylights, and has just done so by just drawing away from the competition.
Yeah, definitely. By My Lady Corona has looked impressive, starting away with authority. He's kind of broken inwards in both starts, so he needs to keep a straighter path. but it does look like those two runners will be tough to deny if they can repeat what they done up to this point. Don Lázaro, you gotta tip your hat to him because he's been running good efforts at 40-1 and nearly 7-1 last time out. They work from the outside post though. Now he's running between horses. He needs to run a little bit better. I believe I tapped Millennial as my long Saturday night first time out on debut, Professor. He's got talent, but he still needs more maturing, more racing to get better.
And he's running to so a pretty tough runner both times. By My Lady at Corona has won both races that Millennium has participated in. So he definitely needs just to kind of get a little bit quicker out of the gate. That's kind of been his little bit problem, that he's just left too much work for himself to do in the second half of the races.
OJD, she's gone Rose for Monte Rosa. Good local win to start to go. Third best last time out, chasing two quality runners. And a dream to fill that breeding line. Apolitical Jets have answered the dream. We know those names very well. They both campaigned here at Los Al. Still trying to get that first maiden win here for the 10. That's a field of look at the field for this Sunday night's Maiden Stakes. Who did you pick on top, Professor?
I picked number 5, Apolitical Victory on top. I picked him on top on trial night. He was my the horse that I thought was gonna really shine on that night. Didn't have the fastest time, but had the second fastest time for Monte Rosa and Armando Cervantes. I'm going to stay with them, number 5, Apolitical Victory. And I picked number 3, Political Royalty, third, Jose.
Okay.
We mentioned that this runner ran third in the Golden State Million Futurity, ran third to Party Politics and Cyber Attack. What a finish they had in that race. Just barely Party Politics catching Cyber Attack at the very, very end. It was a very Empressum and Pence type race. This time, though, the chaser got the horse with the lead. Party Politics going ahead and winning the Golden State Million Futurity. We did have a chance to talk to Heath Taylor, Jose, talking about Political Royalty, a really nice filly. Mr. William Smith purchased her for $250,000. Here's Heath Taylor talking about this filly by Apolitical Jess.
Nice filly, we had her mother, and her mother won the Rainbow, and so I think that she's got some potential, especially to mature this year, and especially being by Political Jess. So hopefully she'll have a nice year. She ran a good third in the Golden State to two super nice horses. I'm hoping they use the trials more as the work to hopefully be better for the finals. It was kind of a calculated risk. Didn't do much with her for the trials, so hopefully this will tighten her up after 90 days off, and she'll come back healthy and be better for the finals.
Kind of cool to see her be in this race. Like you mentioned, she did so much last year, finishing third in that Golden State Million Futurity. The decision to get her into this race, how did that come about?
Yeah, I spoke to the owner, and we were going to give her a rest, but I think anytime you run third in that kind of race, and then she was eligible, and so she fit the conditions for the race. And she's eligible for some Oaks races at Rio Dosa. She's eligible for those Oaks, Rainbow and All-American Oaks, and she's eligible for some Oaks at Oklahoma. So we tried to, she had made some money by running third in that race, so we thought this might be a potential opportunity to try to she's already got black type to maybe earn some money, so we decided to stay here and go for this before we went to the Oaks over there.
Well, anytime you can run third in $1 million futurity behind the likes of Party Politics or Cyber Attack, that's already a very good resume. So now she's in this spot. She looked good on Charles night. Definitely one of the contenders.
Yeah, and Heath also mentioned that when she broke, she did drift in, but one of those reasons is because she had a lot of opening. There was plenty of space there. She kind of found that opening spot and just kind of went along nicely. So we'll see what she does. She has a little bit of nice speed out of the gate. We'll see how she contends with Apolitical Victory as well as By My Lady at Corona, two really fast horses.
Looking forward to that final there of the Maiden Stakes. It's always one of the exciting calendar additions to Los Al here at the beginning of the season. And we'll have a new Maiden Stakes winner here upcoming Saturday night. So with no racing on Saturday night, both of the stakes events were carded together by the racing office. We'll have the Denim N Diamonds as race number 9, and then we'll end the card with the Los Alamitos Maiden Stakes going off as race number 10. And first post scheduled for around 6 p.m., right, Professor?
6 p.m., that will be our first post. Golden Gate is running up north. Their last race about 5:26 p.m. We'll also be having Cal Expo as part of our simulcast action, Australia as well, and a couple of other harness tracks. Of course, the main event here at Los Al will be our 10 race program. Some really nice pools last week, Jose. The early pick 4 average over $199,000. The late pick 4 also very strong at about 150,000, if I remember correctly. How about the pick 6 pools on Saturday night? The pick 6 pool was almost $40,000, and there was no carryover. We didn't have a promotion. They bet almost $40,000 into it, and on Sunday, with the $10,000 stipend that we added in, over $73,000 of new money. So it was a really nice pool in the pick 6 on Sunday. Let's see what happens this Sunday night. We will be adding the $10,000 into the pick 6 pool again.
And Professor, have I told you that quarter horse photo finish is going to be stressful for the heart?
I heard this story.
To the pick 6
You really want to relive it?
Pick 6 players that were involved in that pick 6 closing out with the Brad McKissick Winter Championship. What a race they had to sweat out between Empressum and Apollitical Pence. What a race, Professor.
What a race for you. I mean, what a finish. You were that close, Jose, of hitting a really nice pick 6.
Yeah.
Man, that was some good handicapping, though, to get to that point.
Well, as long as we keep putting ourselves in that position, Professor, we'll be okay. We'll get one of those photos to go our way one of these times. Did you have a video recap of what happened for us on that terrific race?
Absolutely. We had Empressum going against Apollitical Pence. What a duel that was. That was the completion of the first trilogy between these two outstanding runners. We hope we get many, many more races between them. So here's a few photos, a few extra videos. Couple of comments from Armando Cervantes, the winning rider, Monty Arosa, the winning trainer, with the great Apollitical Pence, Jose.
That sounds like a great way to wrap up the show. We'll let you enjoy this montage from last week, reliving that exciting race in the Brad McKissick Winter Championship. And we hope to see you out there this Sunday night at Los Alamitos, live racing scheduled for 6 p.m. Professor G, thank you for joining us. I'll see you out there this weekend.
Thanks so much, Jose. We'll see you out there.
Racing! Apollitical Pence gets the best of the start. Stuck in probate is away well tonight. Just being a friend. Scoops Dynasty, Mr. Tornado near the inside. Here comes Empressum, but Apollitical Pence has a big lead. Empressum is mowing him down. Apollitical Pence, Empressum, photo!
He stands there and, like I say, he jumps and he takes off. And you know what, I broke in front. I just kept him busy because I know that Empressum, he's a really hard closer. So, towards the middle, I didn't really see nothing much. Towards the end, I started seeing him coming, but by then we're at the wire, thank God.
You never know what the horses are thinking, and I've always been a believer you can't do too much gate schooling with them, even when they get to be older horses. It's critical. You win them and lose them here. I mean, if we'd have broke one step slower, we get beat today. So I noticed that he false started, it looked like, just a little bit when Just Being a Friend broke through the front, but it looked like he stayed pretty focused in there, and he certainly got his break tonight.
Racing fans, the traditional $2 pick 6 at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a pick 6 carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the pick 6 pool. That means that every Sunday night, Los Alamitos has either a pick 6 carryover or the $10,000 pick 6 promo. Plus, our total pools have been gigantic, with a season's best $205,000 on January 7th and a $115,000 pool on January 29th. The traditional $2 pick 6, a great bet, a great deal, big time wagering opportunities, always at Los Alamitos. The Los Alamitos Pick 4s are known as night racing's best bets, with huge pools, a $1 minimum, and big payouts. Here are some of our recent Pick 4 pools. On February 19th, the early Pick 4 pool was over $209,000. On February 18th, it was over $189,000. And the late Pick 4 pool on February 5th was over 188,000. Our racing programs begin shortly after the major daytime thoroughbred racing action. Big pools, great fun.
Empressum has blasted clear.
Night racing's best bets, always at Los Alamitos.